But what exactly is it? What is the summary care record? So it's a real-time electronic access to the GP record. It's a source of truth from primary care. And what it contains is some just basic core information. It's medicines, allergies, contraindications. Over 90% of the population now have a summary care record. And a summary care record is viewed every 18 seconds. It's optional for patients to have. You can opt out or opt in at any point. Okay? And you'll always be asked for consent. So how secure is it? Well, it's as secure as we can make it and still make it usable. Okay? So you have to have an N3 connection. You have to have a smart card. You have to have a password to that smart card. And you have to have roles added to that smart card. And it's fully auditable. So anything you do digitally online leaves a footprint, and it can be tracked, it's monitored, and there's a governance around that. How have we got to where we've got to in terms of summary care record in particular? Well, I think we have to, at this point, really thank the Royal Pharmaceutical Society, in particular, the Now and Ever report, and all the advocacy, great and small, that they have done. Because I know for a fact that this would not have happened without them. It would have happened at some point, but it would never have happened at the pace that it's happened. Some comments from pharmacists who've used it essentially boil down to, now I know I can do this, it's wonderful, and please don't take it away from us. And what's really interesting is that pharmacists are now saying to us, it's wonderful that I can access it. I don't have to save my queries up on the weekend till Monday morning and have a whole list of patients I need to ring the GP about, and then get somebody who's probably not medically qualified or has a pharmacy qualification or any other kind of accredited qualification to read out the record to me, which is bananas. And now the pharmacists can access the record themselves. This is looking at hospital pharmacies in Leeds Teaching Hospital Trust over a period of about a year there, and looking at medicine reconciliation calls to a single surgery. Okay? The calls for medicine reconciliation fell from 211 calls or faxes to a GP for information to 35 over a month, to one GP surgery alone. That's incredible. To think how much time is spent at both ends of that conversation. And if we replicated that to 11,500 pharmacies, 8,500 GPs, and all the conversations that community pharmacists have with GPs on an ongoing daily basis, the efficiency and the capacity we could release by doing this is incredible. This is kind of initial discovery work, so they're currently still crunching the numbers for us and doing the analysis. 87%, these are figures reported by the pharmacists themselves. For 87% of the encounters, the pharmacist said the SCI enabled them to meet the patient's need then and there. So they didn't have to refer on to anyone else, and they could close that consultation. Reduced harm from medicines. So more than 50% of the pharmacists who access the SCR said they were avoiding a patient harm. And that goes through from everything from giving the inappropriate emergency supply with the best will in the world and the best endeavours to identifying prescribing errors and missing items. So on the whole, we found that access to SCR was really quick. It's really very, very quick to access it. It's linked through the smart card. It didn't add any waiting time for the most of the consultations. However, for some of them it did. And when we discussed that with the pharmacist, it rightly did. Because when you had more information, you could have a deeper conversation with those patients. The other key finding was around reduced referrals. So in our study, we found that 74% of the encounters, if they hadn't had SCR, pharmacists would have referred on. And most of the referrals would have been on to GP in hours. If a drug could do this, it would be in every guideline, and everybody would want it, everybody should have it.